Because when people look at this interview as an example,
Sure.
they look at what you're saying in the background, in the context of those speeches, and they're concerned that
One speech.
one speech. So they wonder who is the real Varun Gandhi? Is it somebody who has all those psychotic notions about the minority community, or is it someone who is genuinely progressive, as they thought before you made those speeches you were? So who is the real Varun Gandhi? And for people who still hold that against you, do you think this is a good opportunity to say, if people have been offended, would you like to apologize for that?
No, even at that time I said, if you look at that, at the interview I gave, or the interviews I gave once during that whole period, I said even at that time, it's not a new thing. I said that, firstly, I haven't said these things. I said, it's not my voice. These are doctored tapes that have been put there by the candidate opposed to me, who fought 4 elections or 3 elections against my family before. You know, the case went in my favor. I was very grateful for that, and more cases will go in my favor as well, for only one reason, because I told the truth. I don't have notions against anybody, because in me I have Parsi blood, Sikh blood, Kashmiri blood, and so therefore I'm really quite a composite Indian, and so I'm nobody to be supremacist against anybody, since I have so many types of religions and blood inside me.
Alright, let's come back to the issue of the Lokpal and deal with who controls the CBI, because that's the other big issue on which political lines are split. Now the government says that administrative and supervisory control of the CBI must remain with the government. For the cases that the Lokpal investigates, the CBI can report to the Lokpal. Do you believe that's an acceptable formulation?
Why did this whole Lokpal argument come into play? Because of 2 moot questions. Number 1, that the CBI should be independent and credible, and number 2, because there should be sanction for prosecution of government officials. The government has caved in on every single demand except these 2. So my point is, very simple, which is, on the CBI, if you don't give it, if you don't put it under Lokpal or under a body that's not directly to do with the Department of Personnel, so that it has financial autonomy, so that it has the autonomy to prosecute and take decisions, so that transfers and postings are not directed by the government. If you don't do these things, then everything that has been achieved amounts to very little.
So you're essentially saying that you would like the Lokpal to report, the CBI to report to the Lokpal, or do you believe the CBI should be fully independent?
I'm saying that either of these 2 situations are better than what the government is proposing. What the government is proposing is really a status quo.
Because the government suggests that if the CBI were to report to the Lokpal, the Lokpal would get all powerful. That it will have investigating and prosecuting powers.
Fair enough.
And it could become a behemoth which would be difficult to control.
Alright, so I'm saying that that is a good solution, okay? Because I think that the Lokpal is a body that will be designed to have checks and balances where it wouldn't become a behemoth. But having said that, even a second solution where it could be, superintended by, let's say, the CVC, or it could have this thing, but as we were talking earlier, if it were to be superintended by the CVC, then why not the Lokpal itself? So my point is very simple. My point is, anything that is out of the clutches of the powers that be gives it enough breathing space to be its own system. Right now, it's just an adjunct of, political motive.